You're welcome back. You can call us on 0808 054 2233. That's 0808 054 2233, and you can tweet at CTV_Mary A. There are lots of questions you can ask about the heart. It's so wide. So do call. We were talking about infections. I'm aware that the rheumatic heart fever is an issue with children. So tell us about that.
Well, rheumatic heart disease is actually an infection of bacteria called Streptococcus. And it can come because of so many, the source can be from so many places. It can be from just outside, just people who have pneumonia, because strep can cause pneumonia. The strep throat that we have, which when people have, sore throat, and then gut infection because of the bacteria. Sometimes the bacteria can come from the, teeth decay. And once that bacteria manages to get into the blood, any blood drop have to pass through the heart.
That's right.
So when it passes through the heart, and then it can get entangled into one of the valves.
But what if the child is treated?
Well, if the child is treated appropriately and on
with
time.
Antibiotics.
With antibiotics. As a matter of fact, that's why where I live in the United States, we don't have rheumatic fever anymore since the advent of the antibiotics, penicillin. So it's definitely you are cured. Now, if for any reason you are not cured, you may survive. In fact, most of the time, people will survive that infection because it all depends on their immune status. The problem is going to be the late sequelae of it, which is usually, and it takes about 10 years from the time that you had your rheumatic infection before you start seeing the effect.
Heart disease. So a child thinks he's home free, he has survived this fever, but something is still going on there.
Yes. In fact, I have one gentleman in the hospital right now that yesterday that I saw, and have 3 valves that are involved with, and it's in his 50s. So all this thing has been going on for a long time, but then it finally caught up with him. Now, those people who already have congenital heart defect, and then they go and have rheumatic fever on top of that, they're even more in trouble. Other infection can occur besides the rheumatic fever. At least the rheumatic fever, when it happens, we can tell how long it's going to take before it affects the valve, and what we have to do is just go and replace the valve, so the patient will be fine. But there are other infections that can happen, even just ordinary virus. If you take the people, particularly children, that have weak heart muscle, most of the time it's probably because of the viral infection.
Okay, we seem to be having a call now. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Usman. What's your question?
Actually, I really want to ask this question concerning when a baby is sleeping and it breathes a bit higher, and it shows as if it's sweating. And many times, after going to the hospital, we were told that it's okay. After
he sleeps and he's sweating while he breathes. Hello? I think that was what I got from what he said. And he was told the baby is okay.
Yeah. Well, again, as I said, babies tend to really have what they call the non-specific symptoms. You cannot really say it's because of this. A baby that is sleepy may be because of so many things. Maybe because the baby is tired. It may be because of, infection. It may be because the baby is hungry. Because when the baby is hungry, they're going to be irritable. And then when you don't feed them on time, then they just become tired.
But sweaty?
Sweating can, sure. Even when people are low in sugar, they can be sweating. Other endocrine problem can be, can be because of that. And it can be because of what I said in the heart disease. When your baby is not doing that, I will make sure that, number one, I go to a board certified or someone who is well-trained pediatrician. Because a little baby is not just a small adult. They're completely different. And you have to have people that are that specialized. They are called pediatricians.
Treating children.
Yeah, to make sure that they know. You can't just not, because you don't have much window of opportunity when it comes to children. So I will say that also too, to make sure baby is not anemic. Anemia can be the whole reason. It could be because of thyroid problem. But proper evaluation, proper blood work, but it's not just to come in to look at and say, everything's okay. No, don't take that.
Okay, doctor, I heard of an 11-year-old child who had a heart attack.
Yes, that's a good question. I've seen. Actually, the youngest age that I've seen that had a heart attack was 4 years old.
A 4-year-old
Yes,
had a heart
I
attack.
I was a resident in the U.S. that time. How did it happen? Well, this kid had, congenital heart defect. Okay, the function of the heart is to pump the blood to every organ in the body.
Can I pause you there just
Sure.
for a while to take in a caller? Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, I am Mr. Magani from Lagos.
Magani.
Yes, but my question is, my son was coughing, and when he's coughing, he always takes blood was always coming out from his, like if he was vomiting heavily.
Okay. Did you take him to the hospital?
Come again?
Did you take him to the hospital? What were you
Yes.
told?
Yes, we took him to hospital. They were like asking me whether it's tuberculosis, that he had a hole in his chest.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the blood used to be coming out very seriously, very heavily somehow. So I need to just whether is it a heart or actually is it the tuberculosis as they said to me.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Magami.
May I ask how old is the son?
Are you still there? I think it's gone now.
Okay. Well,
But coughing and blood.
yes, coughing and blood can be because of so many things. When someone coughs and have blood, the first thing that goes into your mind is that it's probably coming from the lungs.
Yes.
And the lungs come from the airways all the way down to the lung itself, the airways. May I caution also too, though, that if you cough a lot, you can break or tear some of those small vessels in the airway.
Yes, if
and
the
then that
coughing is violent.
Violent, exactly. You can actually do a cough of blood. But when people have that, you have to make sure that it's not because of infection. Okay? Very rare, that's why I was trying to get the age. Cancer can be, because connected our blood vessel disease. Like people who have, some form of, even sickle cell can have those things.
Even sickle cell?
Yeah, they can have it, because, if they tear, any of the blood vessels. So you got to really make sure that you do the blood work, what we call the coagulopathy, to
He
make
needs to
sure,
go to the hospital.
But then, the heart.
We have a call,
Okay,
Doctor.
sure.
Timothy is on the line. Hello, Timothy.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Good afternoon, the professor.
What's your question?
My question is that in case someone is having a cough and in the course of coughing, there is regular pains around the thoracic part of the person. And most of the times, there is this pain and seizure when someone wants to breathe. Please, can this be part of symptoms of cardiovascular disease?
Thank you, Timothy.
Yes, it can be. Because people who are having heart failure, congestive heart failure, they can have that. Even sometimes, too, very atypical though, the cough may be coming from something else, and then you already have underlying heart disease. The more you cough, then you can now, simulate or actually cause the chest pain coming from the heart disease. So yes, it can be the most important.
Okay, doctor, let me just ask you in 30 seconds, what are some of the modifiable things that people can do to prevent heart disease in children?
In children?
30 seconds.
Well, okay, fine. Number one is to make sure children's blood pressure have to be checked. There's no, from the beginning. Also, too, we have to now beginning to really look at them for the diabetes, sugar, cholesterol is a point, and make sure, that the exercise they do not have, just sitting at home and being a couch potatoes.
Thank you very much, Professor Kamal. That was wonderful. Please don't be a couch potato. Thank you for being there, Timothy, Usman, and Mr. Magami. Everybody else, have a wonderful day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.